So I'm just arriving at the Taipei Municipal Shi-Lin High School of Commerce. It's a very large school, very beautiful, and it's directly across the street from the National Science Education Center, this large complex here. So this is kind of what the surrounding neighborhood looks like. And as you can see in the front, they have their academic awards displayed so the public can see what they've done. So what is your name and your title, and what school are we at here today?
Okay. Hi, I'm Jean. I'm from Shi-Lin High School of Commerce. I am the Dean of Applied Foreign Department.
Okay, so you're an administrator.
Yes.
Okay, can you explain to me real quick, I know you have a principal, and there's what, about more than 3,000 students here at this school?
Yes.
So it's a really large, is that typical for high school here?
No, it's a big school because we also have 9 departments.
Right.
So there will be more than 3,000 students, including day school and night school.
Oh, you even have night school here?
Yes.
Wow. This is kind of an administrative structure. You have a principal, and then what do you have below that?
Okay, we got principals and we got dean of each department. We got 5 departments in the schools, including advertising, applied foreign department, business management, international trade, and accounting.
So each department has their own, like, dean, and a dean is something like an assistant principal, something like that, or not really?
Not really.
Okay.
I think so.
Who takes care of discipline problems, or do you not ever have that problem here?
I think it will be the dean of academic affair office.
Oh, and
will deal with those problems.
okay, but in total, you have how many deans here? 5?
Yes, 5.
But you have 9 departments.
But we got only 5 departments.
Oh, 5 departments. Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry. All right. And so you also have, in addition to those 5 departments, you also have a dean of academic affairs.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Actually, our boss is the dean of academic affair office.
okay, but that's not the principal.
No.
Okay. So do you have many discipline problems in this school, or it's not so common? Discipline problems meaning kids that messing around so much and disturbing the academic learning of other people. The teacher can't control them, so they have to go somewhere else. Or is this just not something that happens here very much?
You know, there will be a drastic change next year because we got a 12 years compulsory education system. You know, it's a great chance during this year. So students are hard to be controlled. So, of course, I think we got discipline problems.
Right.
But we will ask for help to the deans who can support some monies, who can support the material we need. So I think it still be okay.
Okay. Now, I just learned something. You said that starting this year or next year, the
Sorry, it should be this year.
This year it's compulsory.
Next semester, yes.
Up to 12 through the 12th grade.
Yes.
In the past, it was compulsory up to what grade?
9 years.
Grade 9.
Yes.
Wow. But I'm sure that most kids would still go to the 12th grade because most parents want their kids to have more education and go to the university.
Sure, we will go for their education, sure.
Okay. All right. So,
but we got fewer and fewer students now. So.
That's what I understand because it's perspective. Why do you think that is? Why are there fewer and fewer kids now? Why are less women having kids?
I think parents now want to enjoy their life.
Right.
People now are getting more and more independent.
Sure.
You know, raising a family need a lot of monies and
Time, energy, commitment.
Lots of that, yes.
Right.
And that's why I think we got fewer and fewer kids in Taiwan, yes.
Wow.
But the salary didn't get increased, so.
Sure. So what does it take to be an administrator? I mean, you were a teacher first.
Yes.
What did you teach?
Actually, I'm teaching English.
Oh, you're still teaching English?
Yes.
Oh, so even deans still teach?
We got only 5 courses a week.
Oh, okay. And the rest of the time is an administrator?
Yes.
Is it difficult to be an administrator? Is it very competitive, or do a lot of teachers want to be administrators?
I believe in our school, not quite a lot of teachers want to be the administrators because teaching is much more, simple. Yeah, you just teach your students, just give students disciplines. But being an administrator, you have to communicate with lots of co-workers, especially if you try to give them some command, they are your co-workers.
Correct.
Your friends, so.
Right.
It's a little bit difficult for me to tell something that, it shouldn't be a top-down commands, but actually you have to do some things then. That's our principal asks us to do.
Right.
So I have to pass forward those information.
Right.
But maybe our coworker will get irritated.
Right.
I have to do that.
But your principal doesn't teach any classes. You mentioned you teach 5 classes, but what does a typical teacher teach? How many classes per week?
At least 16 courses, 16 classes a week.
But if you're a PE teacher versus a Chinese teacher versus an English teacher, will you teach more or less classes, or all the teachers teach the same amount of classes? For example, your Chinese teacher, will you teach more or less?
I think they will teach the same, right?
The hours are the same?
Hours are the same.
Okay. Because in the middle school, they're different. The Chinese teacher teaches less.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And
Why? Because they got composition classes?
that's what they're saying, because they have more grading and more time, so they have less time in the classroom.
But being a homeroom teacher in Taiwan, you can get 4 classes deducted a week. So you got only 12 classes a week.
Right.
If you were a homeroom teacher, because you have to deal with the students, rows, something like that.
And homeroom teachers are, how long is the homeroom class per day? That's a class, right? The first class is a homeroom class?
Actually, being a homeroom teacher means you have to arrive at school at 7:40.
7:40?
And to make sure every student come to school on time. And you have to leave after 4:30 to make sure
Okay.
they go home
All right.
safely.
But-
That's the home teacher's jobs.
Okay. But you're an English teacher. How many classes do you teach a day?
Today,
No, a week.
a week, 18 periods
Okay.
this semester.
So you teach 2 more periods than the normal teacher. Is that right?
Yeah,
What? Do you get paid for 2 more periods?
4.
Okay. So do most teachers want to teach more classes so they get more pay?
No, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many classes do you teach a week?
Well, because I'm the director of the library, so I can have 0 class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I have 3 extra hours. Yeah,
You teach 3
yeah,
classes.
3 hours. Yes.
But typically it's 16 is average
Yeah,
per
16
teacher.
Yes.
That's
for the-
full-time.
The
Full-time
full-time
teachers,
teacher.
yes.
Okay. So that's only, and how long is each class? 45 minutes?
50
50 minutes.
minutes.
So that's between 3 and 4 classes per day.
Yeah, average.
Yes.
Yes, average.
So
average.
that's, yeah, because typically in the US, a typical teacher will teach 5 to 6 50-minute classes a day.
A day?
A day. So a lot more.
Oh, really?
And yeah, you have a lot more planning time here to prepare for your classes,
Yes.
where in the US, they have a lot less planning time. So teachers normally, for example, what time do you have to be here in the morning by?
8.
8 o'clock? And generally, I'm not saying, I don't want to put you on the spot, but generally teachers leave at 4 o'clock?
4:30.
Okay, so even if they're not teaching, they can't go home. They have to stay here,
They have to stay here.
right? So you can't sneak out and take off for the day and that's it,
You can't if you got something arranged.
right? But you have to arrange it,
Yes.
because in the US system, they generally sneak out.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they leave. And in the European system, it's the same way.
Actually, from this year, it's the policies of the MOE.
The
They ask
Ministry of
principal,
Education.
Yes, to tell each teacher have to stay here for more than 8 hours.
More than 8
You can't
hours.
sneak out,
Right,
but
people do it. So we're coming into a music class. It looks like they're just watching some type of video today. But there's a kid that's dozed off a little bit, probably a little less study. Just wondering, typically in like the U.S. schools, they teach things like concert band and choirs, and they work on performance, a product, right? So they can go out and perform in marching bands and concert bands and show choirs. Is that what they do here in her class, or does she teach music theory and music history? I'm trying to get an idea.
上音乐课在美国可能他们就会有表演啊、演出啊一些，嘿，那他说我们，okay, the music teacher teach students how to sing and she also teaches students how to appreciate the classics music.
So this is an economics class, and there is some technology here. Looks like what type of technology is that? Power? Is that up there? Projector, some type of projector, so she can put a paper on there. It's like a sheet projector. Oh, the laptop can go to that and project on there. Okay, but not a lot of technology. Here, just a little bit. Yeah. So it's pretty much the basics.
然后 S 等于多少 ？S 他没有给我们，可是你在求了，付2000。